We are 11 weeks into the year, which means I am 11 weeks into my New Year's resolution for the betterment of my health. And for this week, I have gained 2.8 pounds, which is of no surprise. It is yet another turbulent week. This time around, I strongly attribute behavioral factors. There was a variety of social events that I had to attend, and the level of aggression and pressure to eat is staggering. It was impossible to say no. And when you inherently have a difficult time saying no, it is just beyond impossible. The only silver lining is that because of the extreme infrequency of these kinds of events, I am confident that I won't encounter such obstacles again in the immediate future. This also makes the first week this year where I am trailing behind projections. So I need to start making corrections as soon as possible so that it does not become an ongoing trend, as has been the case for the last 2 or 3 years. And so as far as coming up with a plan or solutions for this coming week, I am not entirely certain what I can do at this point, since nothing I do seems to work. I get undermined at every turn, and it is at this point practically impossible to circumvent that, which is no surprise. I've been actually trying to undermine the influences for 10 years now and have failed at every turn. So I guess I need to try harder, apparently. I don't know. But it is interesting because I've tried as hard as I could, and I would only average 1 pound loss a week. And then one mistake later, I wind up gaining back 3 pounds, which is exactly what I mentioned weeks back about insulin resistance and how success and setbacks are weighted significantly differently from one another. So I may have to go back to basics and just start by writing out every single thing that I intend to have, and then see to following it while breaking the behavior patterns with a variety of pattern interrupts. I found that to be quite useful to an extent this past week. And I did encounter a video where apparently if your environment is too consistent, the brain will actually induce certain sensations that it would normally expect in this environment. So it almost acts like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I found this to be exactly the case because hunger would hit me as early as 8 a.m. and then chronically thereafter. But because of this major pattern interrupt of this social event, I wound up not eating until I think there was over 8 hours since my first meal without any turbulence. And so going forward, I can see to coming up with habits that can work towards interrupting that pattern as well. But for breakfast, I'll keep it straightforward. I'll have 5 eggs cooked sunny side up. According to some research, there are plenty of compounds in the yolk that signal satiety, but only if the compounds are preserved. And so sunny side up is a viable way of preserving those compounds. For lunch, I'll consider having chicken or beef with maybe some leafy greens on the side, definitely an avocado. And then for dinner, I'm going to focus on controlling blood pressure by safeguarding nutrients I've been lacking. For example, I intend to have salmon with avocado, with arugula, and perhaps extra virgin olive oil. All of this is omega-3 dominant. It is also high in fiber. It also has plenty of vitamin D3, as well as magnesium and potassium, although for magnesium, I guess I can add pumpkin seeds to the mix. And then I can add beets and beet juice, maybe even beetroot, to increase nitric oxide. And so all of these things will collectively work toward improving my blood pressure, since that has been going out of control as well. I suspect it might be a nutrient deficiency, and amazingly, it's nothing I've thought of sooner. But who knows, maybe this will break that trend as well. So we shall see what happens in the next week. Till next time.